Hello, here's the news of this hour from Tstv. I am Mobola Badekale. Here are some major headlines. BUHARI addresses AL-NASSR protest. Federal government rallies governor supports for water bill. UK and Kenya to raise $5 billion for post-COVID-19 education. And in the world of sports, OZIL rejects AL-NASSR move, hopes to fight for place in Arsenal. And now the news in details. The president today has addressed the unrest across the country from the AL-NASSR movement. In a televised address, the president showed concern about the extrajudicial killings by some men of the Nigerian police force. He confirmed that the disbandment of SARS is the first step towards a better police and that their primary duty should be the protection of lives and property. In his speech, he showed discontentment on how officers handled protesters and also directed an investigation to be carried out on the death of some protesters in Ogbomoso, Oyo State. Meanwhile, earlier this morning, protesters took to the streets of Lagos and other parts of the country. The Lagos protesters blocked Lekki toll gate and the road leading to Lagos International Airport.
To say a word on the recent genuine concerns and agitations by Nigerians about the excessive use of force and, in some cases, extrajudicial killings and wrongful conduct by men of the Nigerian police force. The disbanding of SARS is only the first step in our commitment to extensive police reform in order to ensure that the primary duty of the police and other law enforcement agencies remains the protection of lives and livelihoods of our people. We will also ensure that all those responsible for misconduct or wrongful acts are brought to justice. We also deeply regret the loss of life of the young man in Oyo State during the recent demonstrations. I have directed that the circumstances of his death should be thoroughly investigated.
The chairman, House Committee on Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Value, representing Ogoluwasu-Relere Federal Constituency, Honorable Olusegun Odebumi, has condemned in strong terms the killing of Jimoh Isiaka and the subsequent attack on the Ogbomoso's palace during the protest in the town, describing both incidents as needless and avoidable. Segun Odebumi, who is also the chairman of Oyo State Caucus in the House of Representatives, reiterated the people's constitutional right to assemble, peaceful protest, and freedom of speech. He has, however, charged the police hierarchy to commence an immediate investigation into the death of Jimoh Isiaka and others who have been confirmed to have lost their lives in the crisis, as well as several other extrajudicial killings across the country, and ensure that the perpetrators are brought to book. The federal government has opened talks with the Nigeria Governors Forum, NGF, the National Assembly, and other stakeholders on the merit of proposed National Water Resources Bill. According to the Minister of Water Resources, Suleiman Adamu, said on Sunday that a copy of the bill has been sent to the governors, notwithstanding its endorsement by the National Council on Water Resources, comprising all representatives of each state. Adamu, who said the 12-year-old bill was drafted in 2006 and approved in 2008, explained it had nothing to do with rural grazing area, RUGA. The minister also said the bill should not be seen as any ill-motive agenda of the President Muhammadu Buhari administration, stating that over 95% of the new National Water Resources Bill is made up of existing laws on the water sector. However, Adamu, who made the clarifications in a session with reporters in Abuja, said the bill is in line with the International Convention, which Nigeria subscribed to since 1980. Akeredolu of the All Progressives Congress (APC), who hails from Owo, has emerged victorious at the Saturday gubernatorial poll in Ondo State. He was declared the winner by the returning officer of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Abel Idowu Olayinka. The returning officer, Olayinka, who is the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ibadan UI, announced Akeredolu pulled 292,830 votes to win the contest. He declared the People's Democratic Party (PDP) candidate Eyitayo Jegede a second runner-up with 195,791 votes, while the Zenith Labour Party (ZLP) candidate and Deputy Governor of the state, Agbola Ajayi, emerged third with 69,127 votes. He also said Akeredolu was declared the winner, having polled the highest and 25% vote across the 18 councils of the state, adding that the governor and his deputy governor-elect, Lucky Ayedatiwa, would get the certificate of return on Tuesday. The news on Tstv will be right back after this.
The news so far.
Welcome back, and now to some foreign stories. The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization says more than 9 million people in Sudan are in need of assistance because of flooding. The report says that millions of hectares of farmland have been affected. Meanwhile, much of Sudan has been suffering the worst floods in decades, with historically high levels of rainfall since July. However, the Food and Agriculture Organization said 1 million tons of grain has been lost and that there are also growing fears about the risk of disease caused by contaminated water supplies and stagnant surface water, while cases of malaria have increased sharply. The United Nations has, however, warned the emergency relief efforts are suffering from a low level of funding, compounded by high inflation in Sudan and severe fuel shortages. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson and Kenya's President Uhuru Kenyatta are due to launch a call to action today to raise $5 billion for educating the most vulnerable children across the world. The number of children out of school has risen sharply during the COVID-19 pandemic. The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization UNESCO estimates that about 1.3 billion learners globally are out of school, and experts are warning that many may never return as their country's economies contract. The two leaders will also announce plans to co-host a major education summit in the UK mid-next year to rally support for this cause. However, Prime Minister Johnson and President Kenyatta has urged world leaders to support their efforts to get more children to schools by investing in an initiative dubbed the Global Partnership for Education. And moving on to the exciting world of sports, Saudi Arabian side AL-NASSR made a £5 million offer to sign Arsenal midfielder Mesut OZIL, but the German was not interested in the move. OZIL, who was left out of the Ghana's Europa League squad, has reportedly insisted he wants to stay at the Emirates Stadium and fight for his place in the team despite Arsenal's willingness to consider terminating his contract. According to reports, he had the chance to sign a lucrative 2-year contract with Al-NASSR, who had a bid of £5 million for the midfielder, but his refusal to leave saw the move break down. However, Arsenal are running out of time to find a potential buyer for OZIL and has spent a large part of the summer looking for options, with teams in Turkey and even Major League Soccer considered as potential buyers. Brazilian striker Robinho has rejoined his boyhood club Santos, who he left to join Real Madrid as a 21-year-old rising star before spells with Manchester City and AC Milan. The 36-year-old penned a 5-month deal paying the nominal amount of about €230 per month with bonuses and extension. However, Messi Robinho shot to fame with goals galore for Real outfit, which also produced Neymar and Pele before Real Madrid signed him to great fanfare in 2006. Robinho is said to have won league title with Real and Milan and also turned out 100 times for Brazil, winning the Copa America and the Confederation Cup. And with that, come to the end of the news. Here's a recap of the major headlines. Buhari addresses and SARS protest. Federal government rallies governor support for water bill. UK and Kenya to raise $5 billion for post-COVID-19 education. And in the world of sports, you heard OZIL reject AL-NASSR move, hopes to fight for place in Arsenal. Please do not forget to always adhere to COVID-19 safety measures. The news was compiled by Hope Chijioke. I am Mobola Badekale. Good day and thank you for watching.